Hello everyone, and welcome to the latest and probably last Comic-Con Minty Reacts, but we'll see about that to see what drops on Sunday. Or today, I'm filming this Sunday. Let's see what happens there. But either way, this one is the last Marvel one, at least, for Comic-Con, and it is a big one. It's a pretty big one. It is for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, because it is, it's only a couple months out. A couple months out until this movie drops in theaters, and we haven't really heard anything of it and anything from it other than they're doing it. And it's an interesting one because of the circumstances around Black Panther as a character, with the very tragic and sad and untimely passing of Chadwick Boseman. May he rest in peace, because he is phenomenal, or he was phenomenal as just a person, and the amount that he went through during the filming of Infinity War, Endgame, and Black Panther is just unheard of and powerful. So it is incredibly, sad that he isn't here to continue playing T'Challa, but it is very interesting because they'd already announced Black Panther 2 clearly before he passed away, and it was then just a question of how are they going to do this movie? Like, what are they going to do with the passing of Chadwick, and how are they going to do that with T'Challa? And I believe what they decided to go with is they're just going to have him have T'Challa die off screen, basically, which I don't think is the right choice. And they aren't recasting T'Challa, which that's a whole discussion to be had by someone that probably isn't me, of like what should they do to honor his legacy. And I don't know what the right choice is. I personally think it would have been better to recast the character. I think that would have been a much better way to continue the legacy of Chadwick, is having someone else continue this character that he basically created for the MCU. But beyond all that, the trailer dropped for it. I've heard a lot about the trailer. Heard very specifically one specific character is in the trailer, which was rumored forever, but is actually in the trailer. So let's just get into it. Let's see what this trailer is, because it dropped yesterday, and let's just see what happens, because again, filming this on Sunday, so it dropped yesterday. So let's just see what this is before I get too much into the discussion part of it. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Makes sense to use this song. Understandable. Nakia looking pretty cool. Nakia looking pretty good. Feels very impactful. It feels heavy. Like the trailer feels heavy. I love the way it's shot. Okay, yeah, they are. Yeah, it's very obvious that oh, that was Namor. That is Namor. Ooh, oh my. Oh, they're doing some fun stuff with Atlantis, aren't they? Oof. Okay. That's cool. I think that was Ironheart. Oh, that's Namor. Oh, they're going like an Aztec, Mayan type of thing with Namor. That's cool. Yeah, Ironheart. Okay, the Atlanteans looking pretty cool. Oh, perfect transition to Kendrick. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, Namor's looking badass. Ooh. This movie's looking... And the new Black Panther, yeah. Okay, alright. There's a lot in that. There's a lot in that to dissect. Yes, they are clearly going to be passing T'Challa or having T'Challa pass away in the movie as well. You can tell because there's a couple scenes where they have like the ceremonial like grounds or the ceremonial like pillars of the previous kings or whatever, and that's clearly what's going to be there. The movie feels powerful, at least that trailer. It felt very heavy, very emotional, very very deep, very like in your core deep, and you could feel it, and like I'm tearing up a little bit, just a little bit, and also just because I have a stuffy nose right now. But I am actually tearing up a little bit. I'm feeling kind of heavy in my face here after watching that. It feels like it's going to be a very powerful movie, and I hope they're able to pull everything together as well. I just really hope they're able to pull everything together. But the entire cast is looking just like they're hitting on all cylinders there because they have to. And it's interesting who they're also introducing in the movie as well, because they have cast Dominique Thorne as Ironheart, and that came out a couple months ago, maybe a year or so ago. So we're gonna have Ironheart in the movie, which is pretty interesting, and I hope her introduction in the MCU is better than it was in the comics, because like of that era, I think Ironheart was probably the least well integrated into her stories, in terms of like how she was integrated and everything. I think Jane Foster was probably the best one, becoming the new Thor, and actually no, the best one was clearly Miles Morales. That was the best one. It was Miles, because Miles Morales is the best thing ever created in Marvel Comics. That's a little bit stretching, but Miles Morales is great. I love Miles Morales. Either way, beyond all that, I hope Ironheart is integrated well into the story, and I hope it's meaningful why she's there. And the rest of the cast looks great. Angela Bassett is looking absolutely stunning as the new queen of Wakanda. And let me see what her character name is, because I forgot what her character name is. And of course, it doesn't say it on. Of course, it doesn't say it on Google. Give me one moment, everyone. Here is Angela Bassett. Ramonda, Queen Ramonda. She's looking phenomenal as Queen Ramonda, and very, very powerful. Like Angela Bassett being able to just go in there and just be like, I'm an actress here. I'm like an award-winning actress. Here I am, everyone. But the biggest standout from all that, and I think we all can agree, is Namor. And it's Tina Huerta playing Namor, and that's exciting. That's very, very exciting. And just to be completely honest with all of you, I am not a Namor fan. I'm not a fan of Namor. No, it is not because I'm a fan of Aquaman. It is not the reason why. I just don't like the character of Namor at all. Like, I've actually read some comics with Namor in them. I think Namor works as an antagonist. I think he works as, like, an anti-hero, anti-villain. I just don't like Namor. I think he's written too much like an asshole, basically, in a lot of situations. So I usually don't like Namor. Also, I don't really like his design normally in the comics as well. I think it's a little too, it's a little too old school comics, and they keep redoing it, I think, just as like a joke in a way, or as like a little like in reference. So I don't normally like Namor. But with that being said, what they're doing with Namor and what they're doing with Atlantis in this movie, it seems, where they're putting a lot of like middle America, South America, Middle America, Central America, like influences, making it very Aztec, very Mayan, very Yucatan Peninsula. The fact that they're doing that, I love that, because I love the architecture and the art style of the Aztec and the Maya and all of that put together. I love that so much. And that's a part of the Marvel world we haven't really seen yet. We haven't seen the Central America, South America part of Marvel. So I'm very intrigued to see how they do that. And personally, just seeing like the Aztec and Mayan warrior like headdresses and like the Quetzalcoatl kind of like armor and art style on Atlanteans is pretty badass. Not gonna lie, that's pretty badass. So I am very, very intrigued to see how they do Atlantis. But I also think it's a very good thing of doing that as well, of having a completely different take on Atlantis to not be compared to Aquaman, where Aquaman is going the more classical Greek sense of Atlantis, while with the super futurism as well, because that's what it is. So I'm glad they're doing a more a completely different take on Atlantis, and I'm really interested to see how that comes off of the movie, and I'm very intrigued by that. Also, Tenoch Huerta looks phenomenal as Namor. I think if anybody can pull off the villain anti-hero version of Namor, just based on that trailer alone, I think it's going to be him. Like, for sure, I think it's going to be him. So, Wakanda Forever seems like it's going to be a very intriguing movie, no matter what. It seems like it's going to be very interesting overall, based on what's going on outside of the movie. And I hope that with everything happening with the movie, I hope it's able to live up to the first one and to live up to the legacy of Chadwick Boseman. And I think it will. It has enough people like in the movie that are incredibly good actors and incredibly good artists and creators. I think they're going to be able to. I'm just a little worried. I'm just a little worried that the movie might like bend under some pressure, under some like, you know, legacy pressures, and I really hope it's able to end phase 4 off very well, and I hope it's going to be a really good movie. And the trailer itself, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good, pretty powerful. But that's my thoughts on it. Let me know down in the comments what you think about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Are you excited to see this movie? Are you excited to see what they do with the movie? Do you think they should have recast Black Panther? I think that's the biggest question. Do you think they should have recast T'Challa? Or do you think it's a better idea to have T'Challa pass away in the MCU and move on as a legacy character with a new Black Panther? More than likely Shuri. Should be Nakia, though, let's be honest. It should be Nakia instead of Shuri. But, you know, do you think they should have continued with T'Challa or pass it to somebody else? And also, what do you think about Namor? I just want to know, what do people think about Namor? Because I don't like Namor, but this Namor might be the reason why I start liking Namor. So, we'll see how that works. Anyway, let me know down in the comments, and until then, just stay together, everyone. Stay together, stay loving, and, you know, love your family, love your friends, love your loved ones, and, yeah, I just gotta do it, don't I? Just, Wakanda forever, you know? Wakanda forever.